Hey, I'm Mike with the Logan and the Hobo RV Adventure Channel. Today I want to talk about a big problem that could be occurring with the Ford F250 Superduty. So we'll talk about it right after this.
Logan and the Hobo, best friends forever.
What I want to talk about is important because I'd hate to be in the position, and I'd hate for anybody else to be in the position, where they thought they'd been doing all the required maintenance on their truck, and they didn't know that there was a grease port that needed to be lubricated. And like in my case, what happened to me, I took it to the Ford Truck Center, and the mechanics at the Ford Truck Center didn't know that there was a grease port that needed to be lubricated. And so I'd hate for somebody to get 50, 60, 100,000 miles down the road and have some kind of catastrophic failure. Talking about the Ford F250 Superduty, mine's a 2017. It's four-wheel drive. I think this is only specific to four-wheel drives. When I got the truck, I was looking at the manual on the maintenance that was required. And as far as lubricating in the chassis, it said lubricate grease ports as needed or as necessary, something really generic. It didn't say what parts needed to be greased or where the grease zerks were, if any, in it. And it said something like there may not be any. And so I got online, I did the Google search, and I checked on some forums, and I was able to figure out that the front axle U-joints have a grease zerk that need to be lubricated. And so the next time I took my truck into the Ford Truck Service Center to get it worked on, I told them when I dropped it off in the morning to please, grease these grease zerks. And when I came back to pick it up in the afternoon, the service writer told me that the technician had said that everything was sealed underneath and there was nothing to grease. And I told him that was not correct. The technician that had worked on my truck was gone for the day, and so a more senior technician came out, and he seemed to not know that there was grease ports under there as well. And so I got underneath the truck with him, and I showed him on the front axle U-joints there's the grease zerk, and he saw it and he said, yep, that needs to be lubricated, and so they took care of it for me. But I was concerned that even the senior mechanic at the Ford Truck Center, and this is a big Ford dealership truck center, was unaware that there was this part that needed to be greased. Let's take a walk out to the truck and take a look underneath. What we're going to be looking at is the grease zerks located on the front axle U-joints. The front axle U-joints are located underneath the truck, behind both front wheels, behind the backing plate. Here we are looking at the right side wheel, the front wheel. Behind it, the little silver dot kind of in the middle of the screen is the grease zerk. I'll go ahead and point it out with my finger here in a second when I get in position. And almost there. Oh, there it is. And so that's where the grease fitting on the grease gun goes to pump some grease into there. That U-joint spins pretty freely. I'll show you in a minute here. And so you can spin that U-joint to get the grease zerk into position so you can service it. Okay, so here's the view from behind the front wheel. Sorry about the shaky camera. I'm hit it with my arm as I was squeezing in there. As you can see, the U-joint spins pretty freely, and again, I'm pointing out where the grease zerk is. That's where you attach the grease gun and you can pump some grease into it. Ford recommends to have every non-sealed chassis grease zerk lubricated at every service interval, and as far as all the research I did and looking under the truck, this is the only one I found. So if anybody else has more information on that, please leave it in the comments. If you're working on your truck yourself, or if you're taking it to the shop, make sure that the U-joint is getting checked and make sure it's getting greased. I'm sure it's just a matter of time if it's going without grease that part's going to fail, and I'm sure if the part fails, it's not going to be good. All right, thanks for watching the video. If you have truck tips that you'd like to share, please share them in the comments. If you have one of these models of F250, check it out for yourself. Share in the comments what you find. Hit the like button if you like the video, and please subscribe to the channel.